Hi everyone. So this week, what I aim to do is to go through Joseph Pilates 34 mat exercises. A lot of these exercises are very, very advanced. So what I am going to try to do is to show different variations of each exercise and do some preparation for each exercise so that everybody of every ability is able to partake in the class. What I will say is that if you try something and it hurts or it doesn't feel comfortable, you listen to your body and you don't do that exercise. I will try and do different levels for each exercise. So please just listen to your own body and just do what you can do. If you're sore before you start, I wouldn't even try and do a lot of the exercises. If you have any niggles with your back or anything, just listen to your body and just do what you can do. But a lot of the exercises are fab and they're all Joseph Pilates has put them together in a way that they all run coherent with each other, so they all run back to back. So it's a fab workout. So thank you very much. Join me on the mat. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to go through Joseph Pilates 34 original mat exercises. Some of them are quite challenging, so I'll show some modifications throughout the class as we go. I'll start off with half of them this week. We'll try and get us through as many as we can, and then what we don't do, I'll do the rest of them next week. Cut it into two parts. So just to start off with, we're going to start off with the 100. So we're going to start off on the floor, and all of Joseph Pilates exercises are devised to run from one to the other so that we're working the whole body and getting each body part prepped for the next exercise. So we start off with the 100. Lying with our neutral spine. Spine is long, extending out through the crown of the head, drawn out through the tailbone. Belly button drawn to the spine and the abdominals pulled in nice and tight. Pelvic floor is engaged and the ribs and hips are connected. We're going to extend the arms so that you feel the shoulder girdle engage, reaching towards the heels, and we're going to pump the hands. Draw the abdominals in and we breathe in for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We draw the abdominals tight, we bring the chin and look towards the knees for the harder option. We breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5 and out 2, 3, 4, 5. As if you've got two little spongy balls on the palms of your hands and you're pushing against those balls, feeling the resistance. We want to keep stabilization through the shoulders as we move. Inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. Harder option, we come into tabletop position. Scoop the abdominals as tight as you can and the back is light, nice and heavy on the lower, on the mat. Harder option again, we extend both legs. So the lower we drop the legs, the more challenging it is on the lower abs. Breathing in for 5. Out for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You rest whenever you feel the need to. You just work to your own level. So your head can be down if you wish. 2 more breaths. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly bring the knees to the chest. Rest the back of the head on the mat. Draw little circles with those knees. From here we're coming into the roll up. So again, we want to roll up into a crunch to start with. So we inhale through the nose, reaching with the hands can be on the knees, and we bring the chin all the way up and forward, reaching towards the hands, and slowly roll back down, keeping the abdominals braced. Pelvic floor is engaged. If you need to use your hand to help you lift your head, you can reach using the hand, exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Option 2, scoop the abdominals tight. Knees can stay bent if you wish, and you exhale to roll all the way up. holding on the hardest part of the exercise, and then you segmentally roll your spine all the way back to the floor with control. Breathing in, prepare abdominals, pelvic floor engaged, and we lift. We're going to go for a few more repetitions here. And I'm just going to keep demonstrating harder options as we go. Exhaling to lift head, shoulders. Curling the spine off the mat. Drawing the abdominals tight. And then segmentally roll the spine all the way back to the floor with control. So you choose which option works best for you. If you can keep your legs straight and only come to this position, that is fine. You just want to keep working on the connection between the ribs and the hips until you're able to lift your body weight all the way off the mat with control. And then slowly roll back to the floor with control. Inner thighs are engaged. Let's do one more repetition. Again, if this is your option, you work here. Again, if you need a little rest, bring the knees into the chest and draw little circles with those knees. Next exercise is called the rollover. So this time we're working the spine in the opposite direction. Option 1, we can place our hands below the bottom. This is going to lift the pelvis slightly to help us work a little bit more. We draw the elbows into the floor, open those collarbones, and we just want to bring the bent knees in towards the chest. So this time we're lifting the lower back away from the floor, one vertebra at a time. Use those abdominals. You want to imagine that you've got a little corset of muscles wrapped all around your body, pulling you all the way back and all the way up. The arms are nice and strong on the floor. Harder option, the legs are long. Depending on the flexibility of the hip flexors, the hamstrings, this may not be achievable for everyone. Ideally, we want the shins parallel to the floor, and then segmentally roll the spine all the way back to the floor with control. Inhale through the nose, we exhale and start again. Push through the arms. Again, keeping at your level. If your level is here, just lift the tailbone off the mat. If it's uncomfortable to have the hands below the bottom, you can place a little towel or a pillow. Do the same job. Use those abdominals. Let's do one more. Inhaling to prepare. Exhale. Scoop and hollow those abs. And lengthen through. And roll it back to your start position. Hug the knees in. Have a little rest if you need to. And circle the knees. A few in one direction. And then in the other. Our next exercise is single leg circle. Options are shoulder blades wide on the mat, collarbone wide, right leg bent, left leg extended. I'll start off with option 1. You can have left leg with a bent knee, and we want to move this bone here in circles. Circular motions away from the body. We want to think about keeping the hips as still as we possibly can. Place your fingers on your hip bones if you need to. Keep the ribs and hips connected. The spine is in neutral. And if you feel that this hurts your lower back whenever you do this, just tilt the pelvis a little bit and draw your lower back to the floor. Harder option. Our leg is nice and long. Again, we want to maintain stability through the pelvis as we move. If you have the strength in your pelvis, you can extend that right leg along the floor. You can make those circles as large or as small as you wish, but just make sure that that pelvis is not rolling about. The belly button's drawn to the spine. Bring it back in, bend that knee. Extend the opposite leg or bend the knee. We're going to work the right leg this time. So the pelvis is grounded. Shoulders are wide, collarbone wide, facing the ceiling. And we circle. Option 2, we straighten out that right leg. We're drawing circles with either the knee or the toe. Harder option again. And just have a little look. Make sure both hips, knees and ankles of that left leg are in line with your shoulders. So the whole body's working. Nice and hard, abdominals braced. 2 more. Last one. Bend that knee, control the foot back to the floor. Hug those knees to the chest and draw little circles. One more time with those knees. Little spine massage now with roll like a ball, one of my favourites. Makes me feel like a child. So we want to keep those knees hugged to the chest. The tailbone will lift slightly off the floor if you can. Lots of people start this in different positions. I like to start off, just your easier option is just to bring the chin to the chest and then roll it all the way back down. Exhale, scoop the abdominals, lift, bring the nose towards the knees. So you want to make that little ball-like shape. Lift it all the way up and lower. So we want to keep the body nice and strong. Hug those knees in nice and tight. And you want to start to push the legs away and roll. Just rolling through the lower back to start. And then with a little bit of control, we want to roll up onto the sit bones. Keep the spine nice and bent into your C curl. And you roll onto the shoulder blades. We don't want to roll onto the neck. And then as you get more in tune with the movement, we want to try and control it. Brace the abdominals as you roll up, as if you're pulling on the brakes. Scoop the belly in. Engage the pelvic floor. Ankles, knees, shoulders in line. Let's do one more. And have a little rest. Exercise number 6. Single leg stretch. Draw the belly in. Pull the rib cage to the hips. We're going to take both legs up into tabletop. Extend one leg towards the ceiling. We hold onto the opposite leg. The outside hand on the outside of the shin. Inside hand on the inside of the shin. Try not to put so much pressure. If it's uncomfortable to lift up to this position, shoulder blades off the mat, keep the head down and just move through the legs. So the breath here is breathe in for 2 moves, breathe out for 2 moves. As we extend the leg, we want to really stretch the toe to the ceiling, pulling out of the hip socket. As we progress this, we can take the leg, extending leg, and lower that angle to challenge the lower abs a little bit more. Breathing in for 2, out for 2, breathe in for 2, out for 2, 7, 6, relaxing the shoulders, open the collarbone, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees to the chest. You can have a little rest while I demonstrate the next exercises. Double leg stretch. Option 1, we extend both arms and legs. Exhale. Inhale, hug the knees in. Exhale, reach. Inhale, belly button braced. Harder option, we extend the arms, extend the legs. Circle the arms and bring the knees into the chest. Exhale and reach. Ideally, we want the arms and legs at the same angle. Circle the arms all the way through, catch the knees and bring them back in. Exhale. Inhale, control, and bring it back in. Belly button to spine, pelvic floor engaged. Circle and come back in. Exhale. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale, reach. Inhale, pull that belly button in towards the mat. The lower back is grounded to the floor, feeling nice and heavy. Last one. I think I said that the last time. Scoop it in and rest it here. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll the spine from side to side. And we come up to sit. So we're going to take the legs out in front, slightly wider than the hips. And we want to sit up nice and tall, sit bones on the floor, spine is nice and long. We extend in opposition from the crown of the head, tailbone grounded towards the floor. So we sit up nice and tall, extend the arms in front. We want to imagine we've got this imaginary ball in front of us. We inhale through the nose, scoop the abdominals, and as we exhale, drop the chin to the chest and come into our C curve. Then we hinge from the hips and start to roll the crown of the head all the way forward. Taking it all the way down, lengthen from the crown of the head, all the way through the back. Inhale, roll back up. Drop the shoulders and come to that nice long spine. Inhale through the nose, scoop the abdominals. Roll all the way forward. Pull the belly in. And we want to lead, pull in and up from the abs. So we want to lead this from the belly, pulling all the way up. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale. Roll through the spine. Hinging from the hips, we take the body weight forward. Slowly roll back up. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Give the shoulders a little wriggle. And bring the feet back together. So from here, open leg rocker. A lot of people always find that this is easier than rolling like a ball. So from here we're going to start off just by sitting on the sit bones, spine's nice and long, pelvis is slightly tucked under, and we're just going to lift one leg, tap it down, and lift the other leg, and tap it down. Now not everyone will be able to get the legs straight. If you can't get the legs straight, bring it up. Just keep the knee bent. And we'll just start off trying to get a little bit of balance. A little bit of length into the backs of those legs. This can be option 1. If this is your option, you can stay here. Option 2, we're going to try to lift both legs off the floor and balance. Either legs bent or legs straight. Scoop the belly in, shoulders down and away from the ears. Open leg rocker. We scoop the belly, we roll the back and roll back and roll forward. Holding your balance here. Breathe in through the nose. Roll back on the exhale. Roll back in. Control and lengthen the spine. Abdominals braced. Scoop and roll. Spine is long. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, scoop and roll. Lengthen through. Let's do one more for luck. Scoop the abdominals, curl the spine, roll back and roll back up. Keep your balance and bring it back to the floor. Corkscrew. From here we're going to come back onto the floor, onto the mat, lying down on our back. This is quite a challenging exercise, so I'll show you options. Just don't do anything that you feel is uncomfortable, it hurts, or it just doesn't feel right. So we're going to start off bringing the feet into tabletop position. We want to engage the inner thighs. If you have a little cushion or a pillow or a Pilates ball or whatever, or just a book, place it below the knee, in between the knees, so you feel that inner thigh engagement. You'll also feel a little bit of engagement into the lower abs. Now we take the hands just slightly wider than the mat, and you want to use the hands to help you move through the legs. So option 1, we draw the abdominals tight, pelvic floor is engaged, and you want to start to bring the knees towards the chest, and you will imagine you've got a pencil on that pillow and you're drawing circles. You can draw a circle in one direction and then draw that circle in the opposite direction. Circle. And what you'll feel is that little curl in your lower back. You will feel the circle being drawn with your lower back on the mat. Keep the abdominals braced. We're really engaging those inner thighs. Collarbone is wide. So the work is happening below the rib cage, through the pelvis. And just breathe through the movement. Harder option, we can keep the legs straight. Engage inner thighs. We slightly lift the bottom off the mat. We move through the pelvis and then we circle all the way around and come back to the start. And then we tilt and roll. This one's very challenging. Works the whole abdominal area. So as you roll back, you want to tilt the pelvis and roll back down through one side and come back the other, and then we do the opposite side. Last one here. Roll back to the floor, hug the knees to the chest, and circle out those knees. We're on number 11, the saw. Extending the legs, sitting nice and tall. Take the legs nice and wide. If you need to, you can keep the knees bent so that the hamstrings aren't pulling too much. If you haven't got the hamstring flexibility, we can sit up nice and tall and keep the knees bent. Again, if this hurts the lower back to sit in this position, you can place a little towel or a bolster below your bottom, and that's going to lift the pelvis a little bit to help you be a little bit more mobile. So we're going to start off with option 1. Scoop the abdominals tight, long spine, and we're just going to rotate the shoulders to one wall, back to center, exhale to the opposite wall. So we start off with the spine twist. We exhale, we lengthen both arms in opposite directions. We reach towards the baby toe and lift the palm on the opposite hand. Come back to center. Inhale, spine is long. We span those arms nice and long. Rotate, then hinge through the hips and lean forward. Spine is curled, sitting up tall. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Come back through to center. Reach and lengthen. Each repetition we try and reach a little bit further. Come back to center. Roll the shoulders, wriggle the legs. And then we're going to come onto our tummy. The swan dive. Now, again, very challenging. So we're going to start off with a preparation for the swan dive. So we lie on our tummy. Shoulders are wide. Toenails down on the floor. Thighs are nice and strong. We lengthen through the spine, out through the crown of the head, out through the tail. Starting off, draw the abdominals and we lift the head, the shoulders, the ribs. And we want to lengthen through that spine. Draw the belly in and we slowly roll with control all the way back to the floor. Again, if there's anything here that you cannot do, it feels uncomfortable, it hurts, don't do it. You listen to your body throughout everything you do. Draw the belly button to the spine, wrapping that corset of muscles around that spine to keep it nice and strong. Let's do one more. Exhale, push through the hands, lengthen that spine. We want to extend through the crown of the head, draw the belly in, exhale and roll back down. From here, we're going to just rest the upper body, and we're going to start to work through the lower body. So we draw the abdominals, squeeze those glutes, lengthen out of those hip sockets, and we're going to lift both legs and lower down, exhaling to lift. Squeeze those glutes, lengthen those legs as long as you can, and lower down. Again, some people might find that lying on their tummy, that it hurts their lower back due to the pelvis being out of alignment. So that just put your hands or a towel or a pillow in below your pelvis to keep it from hurting or feeling uncomfortable. So lower the legs. We can, anytime at all, you can go back to either one of those exercises. So the swan dive, we want to draw the belly in towards the spine. Toenails are down. We inhale through the nose, exhale and just lift. So don't lift too high to start off with. So we want to think about that little, keeping that little shape through our body that it's in now. So we draw the upper body to the floor and we lift the legs. So we make a little rocking motion with the body. As the legs lower, we push up and lift. Draw that belly nice and tight. And then we lower. And we want to keep control. So that banana shape your body is in, you want to keep that shape, that nice rigid shape, so the whole posterior chain is strong and engaged. And we want to just roll. Now, if this is the first time you've done this, just keep it nice and controlled and roll forward and back. And once you get stronger, you can take the arms away. And relax, come up onto the knees, feet together, knees apart, tailbone to the heels. Walk the hands all the way away from the heels. Slowly encourage the forehead close to the floor. Just listen to your body. If you need to have a little wriggle about, open up those hips, move the lower back, that's fine. Slowly bringing it back to the floor. Single leg kick. Option one, we keep the head down. We want to extend the right leg, kick the toe in, flex the foot, point the toe, extend and lower. Scoop the abdominals, lift, point, flex, point, extend and lower, lift. So the movement's coming from the ankle. We point the toe as we bring the heel in, we flex as we bring the heel in, we point again, extend and drop. We can make this a little bit more challenging by coming up onto the elbows. Point, flex, point, extend and drop. Point, flex, point, point, flex, point, point, flex, point. One more time. Point, flex, point. On the other side, abdominals braced, shoulders away from the ears. Slowly lower it to the floor. Double leg kick. We place the hands behind our back. If you need to rest your head on a pillow, that is fine. Belly button's drawn tight, pelvic floor is engaged. We inhale to prepare. On our exhale, we want to lift the head and shoulders off the mat, reaching towards the heels. As we lower down to inhale, we bring the cheek to the floor, drop the shoulders, and we point, flex, point with the feet. Just imagine that you've got a little pulley attached to your hands and your feet, and as you extend your legs away, we lift. Look towards the front of the mat and lower. Look to the back of the room this time. Point, flex, point, exhale and lift and lower. Point, flex, point and lift. Point, flex, point. Breathe in, breathe out, lift. One more time each side. Lift and lengthen. Reach to the heels. Point, flex, point. And relax. From here, once again, come up onto the knees. Into cat-cow. Excuse me. Draw the belly to the spine. Look between the knees. Push through the shoulders. Tailbone tucked in. Exhale. Bring the belly to the floor. Lift the tailbone to the ceiling. Bring the chin forward. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Keep that back arch, chin to chest. Drop the tailbone towards the heels. And sitting tall. Arch the back, chin to chest, tailbone to heels. Lift the tailbone and come back to all fours. Sitting up nice and tall. Draw big circles with those arms. Open through the collarbone. Mobilizing through the shoulders. And this time as you draw a circle, you want to look to the side, rotating through the shoulders, come back to center. Look to the opposite side and come back to center. Circle through. And chill. Really enjoyed that. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Let's hope you enjoy that. We've got to exercise number 15. So if you want to, you can watch the first video and then the second video and do all 34 together, or you can do them in 2 parts. So I'm going to do part 1 today and then part 2 next week. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. I hope you're all staying at home, staying safe. And hopefully the exercise is relieving your boredom. Hopefully to see you all soon. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye for now.